Morning.
Good morning, Chris. Okay, guys, good morning and welcome.
Morning.
And before we start or continue, any questions about what we did yesterday? Or before that, or before that? Nope. That means that we can just go on. Okay, guys, now before going on to yes, okay, the specific array transducers. Okay, that's fine. Oops, please don't do that. No, okay. Oh, sorry. Now focus. We will go and say steering of the beam in array transducers. Okay. Now what these transducers here are going to have is array transducers. You mean yes, it also means that they have multiple PCTs. Like this. Okay, now since we have multiple PCTs, they're going to be yes, okay. Sorry. We can say that we got multiple wires too. And then we can just say that we have the electrical sources. Now what this mainly would mean is that we can say it's okay, this channel here is okay, that's going to be the one that fires last, and this case is okay, this channel fires first. Here we can say it's okay, please keep in mind it's going to be almost simultaneously. And where it's okay, here's the opposite. This fires first, this fires last. Okay, guys, now please keep in mind that this is mainly as okay, there's going to be a, because it's okay, a diagrammatical way of okay, yes, explaining the, or yes, okay, demonstrating the way that the things works. Otherwise, somebody will think that okay, yes, maybe the wires are longer here in this channel compared to this. No, this mainly is okay, just saying that okay, this fires first and this is last. Okay, so I guess it's okay, cross the finish line first, cross the finish line last. Okay, and likewise here. Okay, now in this case here, we will mainly say that okay, yes, or we say as okay, we label this one as A. Okay, that's mainly going to be yes, okay, that the beam will be steered in this direction here. Where here, it fires like this, almost simultaneously. That's going to cause that the beam will be steering straight. And in this case, yes, okay, the beam will be steering like this. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now there is going to be yes, okay, a cheat, and the cheat is that if we draw, we can say it's okay, a line like this. There's going to be a line parallel to this, which is going to, yes, okay, cross across the beam. Likewise here. This, then a line parallel to this is going to be, yes, okay, crossing the direction of the beam. And likewise here. This, then a line that means, yes, okay, parallel crosses the direction of the beam. Did you guys get that? Okay. Well, it's okay. Whenever we find it says okay, turn on a US. Okay, use a transducer. Okay, and especially it's okay. We will talk about it's okay in our linear phased array. That okay is going to go from A to B to C to B to A. A B C C B A A B C B A A B C C B A like this. Okay. Did that make sense? So the beam is continuously going to be steering like this from side to side. Okay. Now, how was that controlled? All by your electronics. Did that make sense? Okay. Okay. And due to that, that's okay. That's what is it that we're going to see is that, okay, we can say it's okay. We get an image. We will get an image which is going to be as okay, this sector shape here, where we mainly can say that this part of our image here is produced by A. We can say, okay, this part of the image here is produced by B. Where, okay, as this part of the image here is going to be, okay, produced when it steers. For C. Oh, let's go this way. Okay. So this will be C. Did you guys get that? Right. So we can mainly say as okay. So this is a spike. This makes a spikes. So as okay, the pattern of the spike that's going to determine the steering of the beam. When the in array transducers, or we mean it says okay, if we have multiple PCTs as we have here, that this is first, this is last. That's when the beam steers like this. When okay, this PCT is first to fire and this PCT is the last one to fire, that's going to be causing that the beam will be steering in this way here. Okay. Okay. And when they fire, not exactly at the same time, but almost simultaneously. Okay. Close to the same time. That's going to be as okay where your beam steers straight. But continuously go drum, 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 like that. And that's how your beam goes. Like that. And that's how you okay get your image. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Now, in our yes, okay, we can say it's okay electronics. Also, what we may see here. Okay. Now we talk more about that in chapter number 14. But there's something that's going to be called the beam former. Or we can also, yes, okay, call it the beamer. Okay. Now, what is it that the beam former, that's okay, by the name tells you? That mainly is okay, an electronic component that is going to form the beam. Okay. Okay. So we can mainly say, okay, that the electrical signal comes from the electrical source, but as it passes through the beam former or beamer, that is mainly as okay going to be able to say, well, okay, the signal that came from the electrical source is okay, electronics of the machine. Yeah, this wire is going to, it's okay. The beamer is going to say, okay, you go first, you follow, you follow, you follow. And that's how it's okay, mainly it's okay, causes that okay, as the beam be steered in this direction. Okay, so all this here, that means that's okay, determines that's okay, the direction in which the beam will be steered is controlled by your beamer or beamformer. Which mainly means that's okay, beamformer, what forms the beam or makes the beam. Okay? Did that make sense? Likewise, this beam or a beam former here is also going to, because it's control focusing as well. Okay. But is there anybody who has any doubts about the steering of the beam? In this case here. It's going to be pretty much the same for all your linear arrays. Basically, it's the same concept. So any questions? Now, our next thing was the focusing. Let's just see. And again, our transducer with multiple PCGs. Yep, okay. We could say it's we have the you can see it's we have the wires. Okay, and look at this, we have the electrical source. Now in both cases, yes, just to make it simple, we just say that yes, the beams are going to be steered straight. But please keep in mind, guys, that the same concept even applies, even if the beam just was steered in this direction and or in this direction. Likewise, it's whether the beam was steering in this direction or in this direction. Did you guys get that? Yep, okay. And what we mainly said was that, yes, if the firing interval between this PCT to this to this to this to this, and likewise this to this to this to this, if we had a low what we call phased delay or a short phase delay, that was going to cause that the beam or focus at a deep focal depth or point. Whereas we over here have a great interval between the firing of neighboring PCTs, which will be as okay a great phase delay. That will mainly lead to that the beam focus at a shallow depth. Did you guys get that? So the phase delay that determines the focal depth. Whereas the pattern or the spike that we form is going to determine the steering of the beam. Okay. And yes, okay, for our array transducers, most of which we will be talking about today. In that case, okay, all this here is okay, is controlled in what we call the beamer or beamformer. Okay, a component that we briefly as okay will talk about in chapter 14. But basically, it's okay, its function has been mentioned here. Did you guys get that? Yeah, okay. So we can even say it's okay if we, for instance, okay, want the beam to be, let's say it's okay, steered in this direction here, right? Okay. Okay. What did we have? This firing first, this firing last. Okay. Oh, sorry. This firing last and this firing first. Okay. Okay. But if you say that, okay, yes, that we have let's say it's okay, a short phase delay between the firing of these. The beam will be steered in this direction, and okay, yes, we will be focusing at a D point. Yep. Okay. We will be focusing at a D point, whereas if it still fires in the same pattern, but that we have let's say it's okay, great phase delay. The B will still be firing, yes, okay, still in this direction here, but okay, yes, in that case, it's okay, it will focus at a shallow point. Okay, so these two things here is okay, go hand in hand. Okay, okay. The steering of the beam, that's pretty much okay, yes, automatically controlled by the system. Okay, we will be able to, if you want to, yes, okay, narrow the spectrum of our beam. And say, well, okay, we don't want you to go all the way like this, but just like this. We can even adjust that on the system. Did that make sense? Okay. But your number of focal points and their depths, that's okay. That's something that we can adjust as well. Right, okay. That I show you guys the other days. How to do that on the machine. Did you guys get that? Okay. So all we do is maybe yes, okay, just tick, yes, okay, touch a button or twist a knob or something like that. The rest, the system takes care of it. Any questions? Okay. So when we talk about yes, okay, any linear phased array transducer, also any linear array transducer, this is pretty much how the focusing and the steering of the beam is going to occur, basically. Okay. There are going to be, as okay, some very slight variations from one transducer to the other. Right. So that's mainly as okay what we just will be talking about as we talk about each of the individual transducers. But this is the, you can say, it's okay, the basic foundation of how the steering and the focusing of the beam works. Any questions? Nope. Okay, now we can then just talk about, yes, okay, the first transducer, which is going to be the linear phased array. Okay. Now I show you guys that transducer is okay the other day. And this is going to be okay a transducer, and he or she is okay. What is it that it has? A small footprint. Yeah, okay. Mainly as okay, what they say is okay that the footprint is mainly as okay going to be 1 centimeter tall. And okay, it's approximately also it's okay 1 centimeter wide. So yes, okay, this is a relatively small transducer. What I also said was, well, yes, okay, since you didn't. Okay, there's a mainly as okay a standard transducer that was used for echocardiography. Clear? Okay. Uh, you can, or it can also be used to, yes, okay, to scan babies, especially as okay in areas as okay where we use that other transducer for adults, but mainly as okay because of the small surface area. Right, okay, or you can say it's okay, the small footprint. Yes, okay, it may be suitable for babies, but otherwise, adults or children or babies or infants, that's okay. This is going to be the one that they use for echocardiography. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Now, one thing, guys. Now here is okay, we can say it's okay. What's going to be the number of PCTs? Of course, it's okay. It varies all depending upon the manufacturer, but it's okay. They may put 100, anything between 100 to 300 PCTs in. So let's just say that, okay, yes, if they had put 100 PCTs into, yes, okay, a footprint that is square like this, which was 1 centimeter tall, and just okay, 1 centimeter wide. Okay. And we just okay put in 100 PCTs. Now these 100 PCTs mainly is okay because you say it's okay, it is a linear transducer. We're going to be lined up side by side. Now I'm not going to be sitting here and drawing 100 PCTs, but that's mainly as okay what your PCTs would be lined up like this. But if you, for instance, okay, took out one single PCT, if I says, okay, assume that, okay, we had 100 because, okay. So 100 is we start from here and go on counting 1, 2, it would have been 100 PCTs lined up side by side. So what can we say here is that the height of each PCT is still going to be 1 centimeter high, right? Did that make sense? Whereas now, yes, okay, in 1 centimeter, we had to place 100 PCTs side by side. So in this case, we can mainly say that, okay, yes, the width, for instance, okay, would have been 100 of a centimeter. Did you guys get that? Clear? Okay. So practically, it's okay, this will be, it's okay, you can say it's okay, the dimensions. Okay. And if you look at this here, it's okay, where is the shape of the PCT? No, it is not round or disc shaped as we talked about. It's okay when we did our mechanical transducer, or even if we did our annular array transducers. But here it says, okay, the shape of the PCT is going to be rectangular, where yes, okay, we surely can see that, okay, yes. Yeah, okay, God, what are you doing? Good stuff. That's the height versus the width, that the height is going to be greater than the width. Did you guys get that? Okay. So by saying that it is going to be okay rectangular in shape, that's going to be okay the shape of the PCT. And in this case, I can say it's okay if it's 1 by 1 centimeter of a footprint. Well, okay, yes. And just assuming that okay, had it been yes, okay, 100, then okay, yes. But EPCT was still going to be 1 centimeter high, but the width was going to be 1/100th of a centimeter because you had to fit 100 PCTs or crystals stand yes, okay, being side by side to one another within the width of a 1 centimeter of the footprint. Did you guys get that?
Yep.
Any questions?
No.
Now, we can say that, okay, yes. Our next thing is going to be as okay, the shape of the image. And guys, the shape of the image is going to still be the same as we had for our two previous transducer, the mechanical transducer and the annular array transducer. It is still going to be sector shaped. Okay. So the shape of your image produced by this transducer here is still going to be sector shaped. Yeah, okay. Now, how is it or was it that the beams was steered? Or steering of the beam? That was mainly as okay, just how we talked about. That okay, yes. He said that we had our transducer with the multiple PCTs. Yeah, okay. Now, if this was first and this was last, then the beam will be steering in this direction. Which we could say is okay, makes this part of the image. Yeah, okay. Whereas, okay, yes, if it was the opposite, that this was the last PCC to fire. Oh, sorry, let's okay. Last, and this PCC over here was the first. Then the beam will be staying in this direction, and okay, that's mainly forming this part of the image. And in between these two, yes, okay, they fired off pretty much. Not exactly at the same time, but simultaneously, or almost simultaneously, as the book says. Then the beam will be staying straight, forming this part of the image. Yeah, okay. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what causes this to fire first and last, going to simultaneous, and then this being last and this first? That is all controlled by your electronics. Okay, which means yes, okay, goes by yes, okay, your beamformer or beamer. Did that make sense? Okay. By continuously, that's okay, just go drum, drum, drum. Then drum, drum. Okay. So that's okay. The beam continuously. Because the pattern of the electronics switch from this pattern to this pattern, then to this pattern. Then back to this pattern, then to this pattern, then to this pattern, then to this pattern. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. Whereas at the same time, well, okay, do we have, yes, okay, the beam focusing. Okay. Which, as we just said, was all dependent upon, yes, okay, what we call the phase delay. Where we says, okay, if we had a short phase delay, deep focus. Whereas if we had a great phase delay, we had a shallow focus. Okay. Now we can choose more than one focal point if we want to. Or we can just choose one. Clear? Okay. But the way that, okay, yes, it will do is when we have, for instance, okay, multiple focal points. Let's just go to another picture, another slide. For instance, guys, if we say that, okay, yes, this was our image, and we have chosen 2 points to focus. One is shallow, and one is deep. What the system ideally is okay will be doing when focusing at these 2 points here. Clear? Okay, now these are focal points that we have chosen. Clear? Okay. Okay, by as okay adjusting our focal points as okay making 2 focal points, and okay I set the depth like this. But as far as okay focusing is concerned, this is going to be focused on first, followed by this will be as okay second. David finds yes, okay, have we had okay, yes, let's see, even yes, okay, deeper focal point. And then what have be the third? So that's how I go, dang, dang, dang. Then, dang, dang, dang. How does it do that? Well, okay, here we had a great phase delay. Here we can say, it's okay, we have a shorter phase delay. And it's okay for this one here, we even have, it's okay, the shortest phase delay. Yeah, okay. But just because this transducer is okay, has the capacity or is okay, enable you to, yes, okay, focus on multiple points. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, right? Okay. You may be as okay, physically, personally, or mentally able to, yes, okay, do a lot of things. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it. Clear, okay. Okay, guys, not to be inappropriate. If I want to, I can get up now and okay, let's take off my shirt or whatever, or strip. All right. Does that mean that I necessarily have to do it just because I can? Good morning, guys. Is the 21st or the 24th of February 2024. We're in the third week of the new year. So just because you are capable of doing something doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it, right? Okay. So that's okay. You have the liberty of okay, yes, focus on one multiple point, but if you need to, well, it's okay. You can actually just okay, just still focus just at one point. Okay. Especially as okay, in this case, is okay if you are running an echo. We mainly just okay, just want to focus at one depth or one fixed focal point. But choosing multiple focal points, that's okay. That you mainly is okay sending a command to the system that I want you to focus the beam at this depth here, at this depth here, and at this depth here, for instance. Clear? Okay. It's going to be the job of your system to form the beams that first, yes, okay, will reach to, yes, okay, their narrowest point at this depth here as they go. Clear? Then, afterwards, yes, okay, the next series of beams, that's okay, is going to, yes, okay, be getting to the nearest point at this depth here because that was another depth that you chose. Clear? Okay, as the beam goes. And last but not the least, there's okay, if you chose this one here, it's okay. It's going to be okay, this depth here that okay, yes, they will get to their narrowest point. Okay, so shallow is always going to be the first priority, followed by deeper, followed by deeper. Did that make sense? And all this here is okay, is controlled electronically. So that's what means, okay, where we said in chapter 14, in chapter 10, when we talked about okay, array focusing here, control electronically. How does that work? Well, okay, that's mainly okay, what we have talked about. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, guys. Now the last fellow here is going to be okay, what if there is a damaged PCT? Now we can say, okay, we have the transducer here. We have, okay, a whole bunch of PCTs. And let's say that, okay, yes, this PCT here is damaged. How is that going to, okay, affect our image? Okay. Now there is a sentence written in your book that made us, okay, just talk about us, okay, how a damaged PCT, let's say, okay, this one here will affect your image here. And that's going to be, okay, inconsistent. And erratic. Okay, so it's not going to be like, okay, as we saw in our mechanical transducer, where we have, okay, it's okay, we have one PCT, and okay, yes, the whole image is gone. Whereas, okay, yes, in our annular based array, where we had the multiple PCT, and for instance, okay, say, okay, this one here was damaged, then we had, okay, as a defect along the image at the point where, yes, okay, this PCT here we're focusing at. Okay. Did that make sense? So in this case, it's okay, me is okay, due to inconsistent and erratic focusing and steering. Well, okay, it will, it's okay, we will not be able to, it's okay, by looking at the image saying, okay, this is the PCT that is damaged, or this PCT, because, okay, its effect on the image would have been, is okay, pretty much the same. Or the effect of that shows on the image would be the same. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. Now there are quite some pages to read on for you guys, from page 169 to page 175. Okay. That's pretty much okay as what we've gone through. Okay. So take a breather, refill your coffees, and read through these pages. Okay, you have some very nice diagrams with some text under the diagrams. Read on those as well. Okay. And I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. And if you still have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Okay. Any question, guys? No questions?
Yeah, actually, I just when I was reading, so the spike pattern needs to be curved for the sound beam to be focused. When it was
You can put it that way, yeah. Okay. Okay, and we can say it's okay. The greater the spike, if that's what you want to call it, shallow focus. Whereas, okay, if we say lesser the spike, or smaller the spike, deeper the focus. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Good. Now let's just then go on to is okay, the next transducer, which is going to be okay, what we call a linear sequential array. And this transducer here may also go under another name, which is going to be okay, the linear switched array. Is that clear? Okay. So you will see as okay, especially as okay when we go to the questions of this chapter here, that even as okay, though the answer commonly would have been as okay, a linear sequential array, but you don't find the term linear sequential array, but rather the term linear switch array. So that means okay, just another name for your linear sequential array transducer. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Now, first thing first, because okay, as how is it that this transducer is okay stands out? Well, okay, we can say it's okay. The unique feature is that okay, yes, it has a large footprint. If you guys remember yesterday that okay, I showed you guys a picture that actually is okay was a picture of a linear sequential array. But if yes, okay, we take the footprint and look at it like this. Well, okay, yes, that's what it will be like. Now we can say it's okay. In this case, it's okay again. The height may stay as okay, be as okay, approximately 1 centimeter. Okay. Whereas okay, as we go for this, okay, total width of the footprint can be as okay up to 10 centimeters.
So it can be smaller than 10 centimeters though, as long
And
as it's in a rectangular shape, or no?
yeah, it can be smaller than that,
Okay.
but usually it's okay. That's how it is. Or you can say
Okay.
it's okay. That maybe some which have okay as a footprint of 7 centimeters. So, but it's not going to be as okay squared like we had in the linear phased array.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So as okay, This field here is okay, mean is okay due to big footprint, yes, okay, is going to be, yes, okay, big foot. Now, next thing comes, yes, okay, the number of PCTs. Okay. And again, yes, okay, just as we in the previous transducer had, yes, okay, anything between 100 to 300. Here, yes, okay, it is 122, 250 PCTs. Clear, okay, but please keep in mind, guys, that, okay, yes, these PCTs are going to be lined up side by side. Okay, which mainly is okay, just will tell us that, okay, yes, give us the idea of, okay, yes, what's going to be the shape of the PCTs. Now, just like our PCTs in our previous transducer, yes, okay, these as well here are going to be rectangular in shape. Okay, what we then mean by rectangular, being rectangular in shape, is going to mainly mean that, okay, yes, that the width is not equal to the height. Where if we then look, okay, at a single PCT, this will be its height. Whereas you can see this dimension here is okay, would be its width. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we can just, okay, this is okay as the PCT for our linear sequential array. Okay. Various, okay, of course, yes, okay, due to, yes, okay, the rectangular shape of the PCT, mainly can say that, okay, yes, again, that in this case, yes, okay, the height is going to be greater than the width. Now, just to compare this PCT here to, yes, okay, the PCT of our linear phased array, where they mainly, yes, okay, said that the height of the PCT, yes, okay, was going to be equal to, that's okay, the width of 4 times the width. Okay. As far as written that, okay, yes, the height of the PCT or the width of the PCT was 1/4 to half of the height of the PCT. Where in this case, yes, okay, and yes, okay, they mean, yes, okay, there are a couple of, there is a question or so and so in your exam review that talks about the width of the PCT here in your linear phase theory, where they mainly says, okay, that the width is going to be equal to the wavelength in this case here. So of course, that's okay. If your P wavelength, for instance, okay, was, let's say, 1 millimeter, then okay, yes, the width of the PCT would have been 1 millimeter as well. Okay, but please do not confuse the width. Is not going to be equal to the thickness, because your thickness is still going to be, as okay, 1/4 of a millimeter in this case here. Because we already know that, okay, as the thickness of the PCT is going to be 1/4 of the wavelength. Did you guys get that? Okay. Likewise, guys, although it's okay, for your linear phased array, it's okay, we can say it's okay, the height for the linear phased array and the height for your linear sequential array is okay, may be the same. Or we mainly can say that, okay, yes, even in that case, it's okay, the width of your linear phased array is going to be greater than, no, the width of the PCT for a linear phased array is going to be greater than the width of the linear, sorry, what the fuck I'm saying. The width of the PCT of a linear sequential array is going to be greater than that of the width of the PCT of a linear phased array. Okay, why? But you can just, okay, look at it in two ways. First of all, that we actually, it's okay, we have to fit anything between 100 to up to 300 PCTs in a width of 1 centimeter. Whereas here we can say that was okay as for a linear phased array, whereas okay for a linear sequential array, we have to fit anything between, yes, okay, just 100 to 250, but that's going to be, yes, okay, in a total depth of, and a total width of up to, yes, okay, 10 centimeters. Okay, so the width of the PCT of each, or the width of the PCT in your linear sequential is going to be, as okay, several times bigger than the width of the PCT of a linear phased array. Any questions so far? As far as the shape is concerned, guys, please, 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 the shape of the PCT in both cases are going to be rectangular. Although this fellow here had a square footprint, and this fellow over here still had a rectangular footprint. Any questions? Any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay, guys. Now, oh shit. Now, as far as we go to, yes, okay, the steering of the beam. Now, there's going to be, yes, okay, a slight variation here versus our linear phased array. Right. So this is going to be, yes, okay, our linear sequential array or linear switch array. Now, in both cases, yes, okay, what was it that we had? We had multiple PCGs. That's what we also have here. Multiple PCGs. Is that clear?
Yep.
Yeah.
What did we say when we talked about is okay, the steering of the beam in our linear phased array? We said, okay, if this was first, this was last, then okay, yes, beam was steered like this. Whereas if we went the other way and say it's okay that this was last and this was first, beam was steered in this way. But because what we mainly said was PCT followed by PCT followed by PCT followed by PCT followed by PCT, like that. Or PCT followed by PCT followed by PCT followed by PCT followed by individually. Did that make sense? Okay. That is going to be slightly changed here because here's okay, the PCTs do not fire off individually, but rather in groups. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let's just, okay, how many groups are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Then it says, okay, we made 10 groups, right? Okay, so just as, okay, we can name them, number them as group A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Did you guys get that?
Yep.
A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, G, H, I, sorry, G. Okay, good. Okay. So we have, yes, okay, in this case, it's okay, we had 10 groups. Let's just assume, or let's just say that, okay, yes. And in each group, there was a total of, let's say it's okay, 10 PCTs. So each group had, yes, okay, an equal number of PCTs, which was 10 PCTs per group. Did you guys get that? So in a linear sequential array transducer, what's going to happen? We can mean it says, okay, that the PCTs or the crystals are joined together into a group. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. Now comes the question. If we set the beam to, let's say it's okay, be steered in this direction here. Okay. If we set the beam to be steered in this direction here, that will mainly mean that, okay, yes, group I would have been the first group of PCTs to be stimulated, followed by I, followed by H, followed by G, F, E, D, C, E, B, and E. So this would be the last group. Yeah, okay. So the main difference between, yes, okay, your linear sequential array versus your linear phase array is that here, yes, okay, it is individual PCTs. The file one after the other, after the other, after the other. Where here is okay, it's going to be as okay, group. One group first, followed by another group, followed by another group, followed by another group, followed by another group, followed by another group. Did that make sense? Whereas, okay, if we set the other way around, that okay, yes, we wanted the beam to be steered in this direction. Then group A would have been first, and group I or J would have been the last. Okay, so group after group after group after group after group, like that. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Or likewise, if they find again, yes, okay, and the wording is going to be almost simultaneously. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Again, it's okay. Group, rather than one by one by one by one by one. Any questions? Any word of wisdom? Good. So the same concept, but the difference here is group versus individual PCTs. Okay. Now, guys, for the linear sequential array, beam focusing. Now, guys, now there's going to be two things. We can say as the older version of linear sequential array transducers. Where we still say that as we have we had multiple PCTs. Okay, where we still could say that yes, a big or small number of PCT is were grouped together. But in these older version of the linear sequential array or linear switch array, as they may have called them, only had a fixed focal point. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. And some of you may be scratching your heads and saying, then what in the hell and how in the hell is it that it is an array transducer? Okay. Now, the reason that I talk about this is that there is a question or so in your exam review that is going to ask you, which of these here only has one focal point or something like that. And you're looking at the names and you see all of them are array transducer, and you go, but what the blue? There's going to be a linear sequential or linear switch array. Okay. Although yes, the question doesn't mention anything about as an older version or something like that. But that's pretty much as what they're just asking into. Okay, so that's somebody complained earlier about the wordings of the question. Why does it have to be so weird and complex? Yes, my dear. Okay. In some instances, I will agree. Okay. So the question mainly is just arises is Not saying that's it only had one focal point. How was that focal point determined? Okay, where we made is we just say that as if we look at a group of PCTs. Let's see that we take, let's say this group of PCT and look at it. Okay, and what we mainly see is that yes, the surface of each of these PCTs here had been curved. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and now if the surface of each PCT is curved, what kind of focusing would that be? That would be internal focusing, which means just calls that yes, in this case, yes, all these PCT within the group would focus at the same depth. Which means to me that, okay, yes, it only had one focal depth. Or we could say, yes, okay, that the beam only has one, and that one single is going to be fixed focal length or near zone length. Did that make sense? But as I said, this was for the older version of your linear sequential array transducers. Did you guys get that? Yeah, okay. Whereas, now if it was the same transducer, but as okay in a newer model or an updated model there, we actually, it's okay, would be able to just okay focus on multiple points. Okay, but yes, okay, since yes, okay, our PCT doesn't fire individually, but in a group. That each group of PCT is okay will form their beam that would, as we just said here, would be steer in one direction and steer in another direction, or to be steering straight. Okay, but if we say as okay, if we as okay, look at this group here, for instance, together and say, well, okay, our PCTs within the group, for instance, just okay here, okay. Let's just go this way. Because it's okay, all dependent upon the phase delay. If you find this okay had a low phase delay, amongst the PCTs in this group here, that will lead to a deep focal depth. Across the beam shears, okay, focus at a deep point. Just as we had in the linear sequential array, right? Or linear phase array, sorry. Whereas, if these PCTs here is okay, fire with a great phase delay, maybe it's okay, will cause the beams to focus at a shallow depth. And if we had set it to, yes, okay, it can focus at a shallow depth by deep depth. But first, shallow, then deep. Clear, okay, and what it's going to determine is, okay, which group of PCG fires first and last, it's all going to be determined by us, okay, in what direction is it that we have steered the beam. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
So how are the transducers going? So far, so good? Okay. It's still the generalized, it's okay, copy and paste. Here is okay, just a slide. Okay. Now, on your practical sheet, you see the names of all these transducers here, right? Right? Okay. Now, please, for your linear phased array, write for that, okay, yes. Okay. Yes, okay, for echo and children. Yeah, okay. Your linear sequential array. Linear sequential array mostly is okay. You guys will use those for vascular. Do you guys know what next module you are going to go for? Yes, Teresa?
Vascular starts in April.
Vascular. Okay, good. Okay. So most likely it's okay, the kind of the transducer that you most likely is okay will be using for that will be the linear sequential array. Okay. Okay, guys. Now this transducer here is okay, it had a rectangular footprint, right? What did we mean by rectangular footprint? That it had, okay, yes, a width that was greater than the height. Clear? Okay. Good. And this is going to be, yes, okay, one of the transducers, which although it's okay being, well, okay, a linear transducer, but just okay. Or we can say it's okay, we will talk a bit about it's okay. A new variety of image shapes. Because, okay, for the transducer that we have talked about so far, which was the linear phased array, which was okay as the annular phased array, and even yes, okay, the mechanical transducer. Although yes, okay, the shapes of the PCTs of these two here was not the same as the shape of the PCT of this one here. But what we still said was that, okay, all these three fellows here, yes, okay, what did they have? They had, okay, as a sector-shaped image. Right? Where we mean, you can see that, okay, yes, up here, that's where we have the transducer. But we also said about the sector shape image that it got, that's okay, that this dimension here is not equal to this dimension or this dimension. That image actually is okay, got wider and wider and wider as we went from shallower depths to deeper depths. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. Whereas if we now look here, what is okay for a linear sequential array. Now let's just look at the transducer as it was. With the PCTs. Yeah, okay. Now, if they fire almost simultaneously, that's okay. What are you going to get? An image that goes like this. Okay. Where we mainly will say, it's okay, this image shape here is okay, is also going to be rectangular. So one shape of image that, okay, this linear sequential array transducer will give you was a rectangular shaped image. Okay, and then we say that, okay, it's going to be a rectangular shaped image. We can mean yes, okay, even yes, okay, at greater and greater and greater and greater depths. The width of the image is going to be yes, okay, equal to the, or it's going to be equal to the width of the footprint. At least we can say it's okay. Not on the, because okay, on the screen you may see yes, okay, you have a transducer which is 10 inches or 10 centimeters long. But the shape or the size of the image on your screen may be 20 inches or 20 centimeters wide. But you can mainly say, okay, it scans an equal area as the size of the footprint. Or while I, okay, where, okay, for the other one, just, okay, since the beam goes like this, you look here, whereas, okay, if your vision goes like this, your visual field increases, right? Here for the linear sequential, that's okay. Just like this. You can just look where you can just see it's okay right in front of you. Did that make sense? Any questions? Good. So what could be happen next? Well, okay, guys. If we then said, steer the beam this way here. Then we get this shaped. Yeah, okay. And what we'll say here? Well, okay, yes, of course. In this case, yes, okay, this would be our footprint. Clear, okay. But where we still can say that, okay, yes, this distance here. And okay, yes, let's do it this way. And this would be same. But that was okay, is our beam was steered in this direction. How did that happen? That this was first. Oh, sorry, this was last, and this was first. But what do we call this shape of image here? This image shape here is going to be referred to as being a parallelogram. Yeah, okay. Whereas, guys, if we chose to steer our beams this way, mainly because, okay, this was first and this was last. Now, in this case, it's okay. We can say, it's okay, this will still be the footprint. We can say, well, okay, as this here. That's going to, that's going to be the width. And then we can see it's okay. But also, let's say it's okay that, okay, so our beam was steered in this direction. And the same as, okay, applies that this distance here is going to be equal to, yes, okay, here. So this image here is still going to be as okay, also still going to require for you as being a parallelogram shaped. Okay. So as far as our linear sequential array transducer, it could give us two types of shape, or it could give us two image shapes, which were respectively rectangular and or parallelograms. Did that make sense? Okay. So guys, this parallelogram. That's something that occurs. Are you as okay rectangular? We can adjust that. When would we do so? When we do Doppler. So when we turn on our Doppler functions, that is going to be one of the options that we will have. Okay. Where we as okay may go and say it's okay. We don't want it to be straight. We want it to be steering this way, or we don't want it to be steering this way, but rather this way. Why and how and so and so. We will talk about that on a later instance. Okay. But this is the transducer that gives you a unique variety of image shapes. Not just, it's not going to be sector shaped as we have seen so far. Or rather, it's going to be a rectangular shaped image or a parallelogram. And why do we call a parallelogram a parallelogram? If you look at it, it may not be a Mona Lisa, but anyways. This is a rectangle, right? You can see it's okay. This is a square. Okay. Now, practically, yes, okay, these could have been parallelograms as well, but they still don't call them parallelograms. They call a rectangle and a square. Why is it that this why do we call this one here a parallelogram?
Is it because they're the same shape just next to each other?
What is the same shape just next to each other? Why is the green here not called a rectangle?
Because it's parallel to the other rectangle? It's next to it?
No.
Okay.
What does the word rectangle mean?
Rectangle,
Yes.
like two sides are shorter and two sides are longer.
Okay.
It has to do with the 90-degree angles in a rectangle.
So angle, right? Okay, and what does the word rect mean? Well, okay, it just comes from erect. Okay, straight. So straight angles are 90-degree angles, right? Okay. Okay. Even as, okay, if you look at it, a square is also a rectangle, but the reason that they call it a square and not a rectangle is because, okay, what's the difference between a square and a rectangle then?
The square has 4 equal sides.
Exactly,
Rectangle doesn't.
exactly. Okay, but the square still has to have straight angles. Clear? Okay. Now, if you look at the word parallelogram, gram is just as okay a name for picture or recording or whatever. The word lies in parallel. Does anybody know what parallel means?
Like 2 lines running next to each other that will never cross.
Exactly. So they can run from here to the moon, from the moon to whatever. They will never cross one another. So that's okay. If you look here, guys, probably not am I as okay failing attempt of just okay drawing a Mona Lisa here, but this line here and this line here, they can run out of the screen, out of my room, out of my room to the next room, out of the next room to the backyard, to the neighbor's house, cross the street, I don't know who else, make a trip around the world in 80 days, but they will not cross one another. Likewise, that's okay. These two lines here. That's okay. Can leave the screen, can cross the roof, go through rooms upstairs, go to the attic, move the air into the sky, from the sky to the moon, to whatever cosmos, atmosphere, whatever. Galaxies, Milky Ways, you name it. They will never cross. So maybe that's okay, just a structure made up of parallel lines will be called a parallelogram. What do we call a shape with 4 or 6 sides? A structure with 6 sides.
Hexagon,
Hexagon, okay. What if it have 8 sides?
octagon,
Octagon. And what if it have 5 sides?
pentagon.
Pentagon. Have anybody ever seen the Pentagon? Yes, Kristen, you be there?
No, just pictures.
Just pictures, sir. You never been there? No, okay. But the reason that they call it a pentagon is because the building is shaped like a pentagon. It's not that pentagon means defense or anything. So none of you have seen the Pentagon? Not from the inside, of course, but no.
Have you?
Okay, then I guess I'm more traveled than one of you guys are. Nobody has been invited for tea and biscuits by the president. That's probably it's okay asking for too much, right? Okay. But it's pretty much okay as at a stone throw distance from the capital. Okay, guys. So this fellow here has not just one, but 2 types of images. Rectangular shaped or parallelogram. Here. So that's okay for the rectangular, that will mainly mean, yes, okay, all the PCTs looking straight ahead. One parallelogram, all PCTs. Okay, yeah, standing side by side, looking this way. Or standing side by side, looking this way. How do we do that? Yes, okay, well, we in terms of ultrasound or Doppler were referred to as angle steer or beam steer. Okay, or steering of the beam. But that's okay, that will not be called steering of the beam in that case. The system will tell you that's okay, steer the angle. And why angle? Yes, okay, because we will be talking more of angles in Doppler as well. Oops, somebody didn't like that. Okay, guys. Any questions about the size or not size, shapes? Good, good, good. And that's why you see, that's what you see as okay on figure 12.28 on your book on page 183. That's a picture of a Doppler image. Okay. Or more correctly, it's okay, a color Doppler. But it's okay, that is your rectangle parallelogram. Okay. Okay, yes, we can clear this out. Let me just try to mimic this image here. Oops, no. Oops, where are we? Okay, yes, we have something here. This is just tissue. This is just tissue. And here, in this instance, yes, okay, that's your beam. We can say it's okay, being steered this way. But okay, guys, this is still going to be as okay, your perfect. So in this case, it's okay, your beam is being steered in this direction here. Yeah, okay. And this is really going to be okay. So it's okay, the area where you see the color. As okay as the rest of your blood vessel is here and here. So me is okay, just what comes within this box here, which is going to be as okay, showing us the direction of the steer beam. But the same as okay, you can say it's okay, because still has steered the beam like this. Okay. Or if you wanted to, okay, yes, okay, if needed, you could have steered it like this. What the effect of that is going to be on your scan, yes, okay, that will be a different discussion. Okay. So one of those knobs that we have right by our small screen, okay, is going to, it's okay, when we turn on our Doppler functions, that's okay, will enable us to steer the beam. Okay, but it will not be called steering the beam, it was just called angle steer. Any questions? Yes, guys.
No.
No questions? Okay, guys. Then we can just talk a bit about it. Okay, what about if you have a damaged PCT? Now, please keep in mind, guys, we don't have to have it. It's not, you don't necessarily have to have a whole group of PCTs being damaged. Just if one PCT is damaged, that's going to be as okay, good enough. Now, let's do it this way. Because one thing is given in your book, and one thing is okay, I will ask you and see if you can use your brain. So here is okay. This was our linear sequential array transducer. We had multiple PCTs. We can say it's okay, they were grouped together. Yeah, okay. Well, in this case here has this going to say it's okay that the beam is steered straight ahead. Did that make sense? So what does it mean to be steering straight ahead? That each PCT, yes, okay, will be sending out pulses and beams, yes, okay, in this direction here, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just say that, okay, yes. This PCT here is damaged. And that's what you see in the book. That this part of the image here is going to be missing. Why? Because this PCT is okay as it was steering or as it was firing. Well, let's say the rest were fine, but this one here is okay. Could not fire because it was damaged. Well, okay, can't fire, can't receive. Can't receive, yes, okay, nothing is going to pop up on your scan. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. So we can mainly say, okay, in this instance, it's okay here. Okay, so it is straight, vertical defect, right? Now let's just put it this way, guys, and say it's okay, where is the beam? It's steered in this direction. And it's okay, or multiple PCTs. A piece. And let's just say that in these multiple PCTs here, let's say this PCT is damaged. And of course, that's okay. These PCTs here is okay. They are. Of course, that's okay. Going to be grouped together. Now, my question is the defect in your image going to be like this? Then we just name it A. Is the defect in your image going to be like this? Then we just name B.
Be B, right?
You go B. Okay. Okay. So one for B.
I also say B.
You also say B. Okay. Yes, guys. Come on. It's not going to be held against you if you answer wrong.
B also.
You also go B. Okay. Nobody wants to join the A team, I guess.
I'll join the A team.
You want to go for A? Okay. Shit.
Yeah, just for fun.
Fun. Okay, good. Yes, Teresa, Angeles, and Jennifer. Huh?
A.
You go A?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Teresa. I'm gonna say A.
You also go A. Okay.
I'll go B.
You go B. Okay. You just say, okay, I'm not going to go A because that's what my name starts with. Okay, guys. Don't fall for me provoking you to change your answers because B was the right answer. I may put up that poker face. So that's okay. A is the right answer. Now B is the right answer. Just think of it. Okay, just think of it, guys. Standing shoulder by shoulder, looking this way. But we may says, okay, each of us, we may yes, okay, B just says, okay, looking at a specific area of the field or whatsoever. But one of us is blindfolded, yes, okay. What area is okay, he or she was looking at is going to be yes, okay. Blank or empty, or yes, okay, in this case here, blacked out on our scan. Clear? Okay. So yes, okay, guys, it's not everything that is in your big back book. Sometimes it's okay, you just have to think out of the box. Okay. I can just give you some hints. Okay. Any questions? So this was a little bit of a mouthful. Okay. This was a little bit of a, well, okay, not really. The only thing that was different was, okay, as the shape of the image. Your ECGs being grouped. And that occurs that the older versions of these transducers here were conventionally or mechanically or what you want to call it, okay, had fixed focusing. Okay. I mean, because, okay, the surface of the PCGs were curved, which was what we call internal focus. Any questions, guys? Nope. Okay. If you're going at this pace, I may have to, yes, okay. do it this way and say your quiz may or midterm maybe sooner than. Mhm. Okay. Think about it. Now take your lunch break or whatever you want to call it. And I see you guys back at, should we say 150? No, sorry, not 150. Okay, 450, sorry. Okay, guys. Have fun tonight. Okay, guys. Welcome back. And any questions? So you didn't come across anything that say maybe this needs to be explained? Okay. As long as you guys got it. Well, that's all. Now this main is okay, then just takes an hour to our next. Transducer, it can be as okay, a curved array transducer. Sorry. It can also be called a convex array transducer. Or we can also call it a curvilinear array transducer. Okay. And why is that? That is mainly guys that, okay, yes. If we look at this transducer here, it has a curved footprint. You know, okay. These guys, that footprint is a convex curve. Clear, okay. And what we then can see is, okay, that along this convex curve here, the PCCs are lined up. Did you guys get that? Right. So this transducer, this goes under these three names here. They are the three different names for the same transducer. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. And although it's okay, not mentioned, but it's okay. When is it that we commonly it's okay? We use this transducer here. It's mainly going to be it's okay for abdominal scans. Or you can say it's okay, scanning of your abdomen. Or it's okay, structures of the abdomen. Did that make sense? Okay. Now what we mainly is okay. Let's. The next thing is going to be as okay. How many crystals do we have here? And okay, guys, the number is pretty much okay, the same as that of a sequential or linear sequential. So anything be so between 120 to 250. Yeah, okay. Now traditionally it's okay when we look at these transducers here, it's okay. This is also is okay. Not only is a curve, but it's also going to be as okay a big footprint. So again, it's okay mainly going to be as okay if we measure all around it's going to be equal to approximately as 10 centimeters as well. In most cases. Yeah, okay. But of course, that's okay. You can have smaller versions of these. As a matter of fact, you may have a transducer that's okay with which primarily as okay just looks to be like a or looks like a linear phased array, but actually it's okay not having a straight surface, but that actually is okay just going to be a slight curved surface. Okay, so although it's okay still having a small footprint, but it's going to it's okay mainly because of having a curved surface, it's going to still be a curved array transducer. Did that make sense?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Anyways, number of PCTs pretty similar to as okay as we had in our linear sequential array. Anything between 122 250 crystals or PCTs. Okay, now guys, although arranged side by side along as okay the curved footprint or as okay the curved surface of the transducer, so that's okay. Or if you just okay, let me see. Quite a little bit more artistic skills here. Now we now can see that. Okay. That this here will be our PCTs. So even if you look at it, guys, you can see that okay, yes, the shape of our PCTs, or each individual crystal. If we just take one, is again going to be rectangular. Okay. That okay as we see, if this is the PCT, that this dimension here is okay, that was going to be the height of the PCT. And this here is okay, was going to be the width. But again, it's okay, similar to our linear sequential array. The width of the PCT here is okay, was going to be equal to as okay, the width of your wavelength. The width is equal to the wavelength, not the thickness. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. But as we can see, that okay, yes, the width, of course, is going to be yes, okay, lesser than the height. Or you can say, oh, that's what the is going to be lesser than the height. Or the height is going to be greater than the width. That's pretty much how this reads. Okay. Well, if we switch them around, like this. And this will, okay, it still remain the same, although we go like this, but then it's just going to reading as, okay, the width is lesser than height. Did that make sense? Okay. Similar to as we had in our linear sequential array, but different from what we have in our mechanical and annular array transducers. The height and width of the PCT was the same. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now why in the would I be bugging about the height and width so much? Any clue? What does the width of a PCT determines?
The width of the sound beam.
Width of the sound beam. And what does the width of the sound beam determines then?
Lateral resolution.
Lateral resolution. Good. Okay. Well, since you guys sworn or promised not to ask questions, we probably as okay will come across this topic tomorrow then. We all this buzzing about the size, the shape of the PCT is going to come and bite you in the as long as you get it, I don't mind you. It. So what's going to be yes, okay, next point? Yes, okay, how is it that the beam is steered? And just look at it. Okay, now it may be a little bit difficult, but it's okay to look at it as well. Let me just tell something that is wrong. This one. Look here. Can you guys see this? Okay, now just keep in mind, guys, that's okay, your convex transducer, array transducer are not going to be that straight of a curve. But anyways, okay, now just take one line here. And says, okay, these were your PCTs. Now, when a PCT fire, it fires in the direction that it is heading, right? Clear? Did that make sense? So the one, yes, okay, right here in the middle, straight. Slightly here, slightly off, slightly off, slightly off, slightly off. Okay. So what happens? Well, okay, you can mean it's okay, is just going to be like the fingers of your hand. Because they're all just okay attached to this arc here of your knuckles, right? But what happens? It spreads out. That's what your book mainly is okay, rise as radiate out. If you read in the paragraph, it says radiates out. What did that tell you? Let me see. If you read the sentence that the beam is directly straight out from the crystals, but since the crystals are arranged in an arc, the pulses travel in different directions as they radiate out from the transducer. Can you see that? So that would mean it's okay by radiating out. Let's just say it's okay. This. So what do you see? That's how, yes, okay, we get the image. Well, let's just say here that, okay, as we had, okay, and it's okay, PCT, 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 PCT. Where this, or we can say it's okay, more like go like this. Here. Well, let's just make this a little bit small. So let's do it this way. Okay. Is it one PCT? We can say another PCT. We can say another PCT. Another PCT. Another PCT, and that's it. So another PCT. Now this one here goes like this. This, like this. See this one here, like this. There we go, like this. Okay, and then last one will be this. So what is it that we see, guys, is that as we go deeper and deeper and deeper, the distance between the pulses or beams here is okay, increases. Okay. But the way that this fellow here is okay, mainly is going to steer is that the beams radiate out. Although yes, okay, they were placed side by side, but mainly because it's across an arc. Okay, so this is going to go more pew. This is going to go as okay, straight, straight. That's what straight, like this. Okay, and as we go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, yes, okay, the distance between consecutive pulses or beams is going to increase. Just like here. If you look at the beginning, yes, okay, the distance between each finger is less. As you go farther, farther, farther apart, once okay, deeper and deeper, there's going to be a greater and greater, greater gap between the fingers, right? Okay. If I had, yes, okay, fake nailies. Okay. That's okay. That'll go, yes, okay. Okay. That's okay. Greater distance is okay than the distance between, yes, okay, nail to nail to nail to nail will be greater as well. Or the gap in between. Did you guys get that? Okay, guys. So, what's going to happen to this gap in between? We will talk about that in chapter 15. But just keep in mind that's okay for now. Okay, as the image gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, or we for instance, okay, it's going to say so I can increase the depth. The gap between the pulses is going to increase. Did you guys get that? That's your idea.
Thank you.
No problem. Any questions? Right. So here it's okay, meaning it's okay, steers more by it's okay, radiating out. Okay. Good. What about our focusing? Well, okay, we had beams that's okay, radiating out. And that's mean it's okay, how V is okay. But if you say it's okay, then we want to focus at this depth here. Clear? Okay. Then it was going to be as okay between the interval. That's okay determined by the phase delay between the firing of consecutive crystals that were as okay cause the beams to reach to their narrowest diameter at this depth here. Which you might have said, okay, what I mean is, okay, we had a defocus. Or for instance, okay, we chose a shallower focal point, like this one here. But okay, we will just have had a greater phase delay. That will cause it, okay, yes, no matter. Beam, 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 beam. But they will focus at this depth here. And what does it mean to focus? Get to their narrowest point in the course. Did that make sense? Even though, guys, in both cases, we had kept our depth of image here. This might have been 10 centimeters. This could have been, yes, okay, the focal point of, let's say, it's okay, 7 centimeters. There could have been a shallower focal point at 2 centimeters. We could have focused at just 2 centimeters. We could have focused at just 7 centimeters. If we wanted to, yes, okay, we could set our focus at 2 centimeters and 7 centimeters together. Okay. Although, yes, okay, this was our total depth of the image. Okay. So focusing of the beam here is electronic. By the, well, okay, yes, we can call it, okay, that spike pattern. Small spike or great spike. Now, guys, the image shape here is still going to be as okay sector shaped. But, due to the footprint of our transducer being curved, this is going to have this, okay, blunted top. Okay, so it's going to be a sector shape image with a blunted top. Or just like, okay, as somebody has eaten a bite of our slice of the pizza. Yeah, okay. So what does this image here tell you? That this with the blended chip is just okay, mainly because we used a curved array transducer, also known as the convex array transducer, or the curvilinear array transducer. Any questions? So guys, this will be a giveaway question if somebody give you an sector shift with a blunted tip and ask you, yes, okay, which transducer was used. Clear? Now the only headache that you have to deal with is to remember that, okay, as this transducer here goes under 3 different names. Here. So what are the names? It's curved, it's curvilinear, and it's convex. Okay. Please do not say concave. Concave, dear guys, is the opposite of convex. That means says, okay, this is what it will look like. Yes, okay, since we call it convex. And this P is okay, your transducer. Had it been, or do you say concave? Then okay, yes. That would have been your transducer. You probably just, okay, wouldn't be much able to scan the patient, but rather just scratch him or her. Right? Good. Now let's see, last topic or last point will be, what about, yes, okay, a damaged PCT? Oh, let's just use this. So again, we can say it's okay, we have PCTs. Now what your book did was, says, okay, what is this one here is damaged? Yes, okay, you have a defect like this. Clear? You see that?
Yes.
Good. So that's already given in the book. But then my question will be, oops. Same transducer. It says, okay, this PCT here is okay, was damaged. This was going to be the defect and damage, right? But we also have other PCGs. So my question would be, what if this one here was damaged? Now will your defect be like this? Or will your defect be like this?
I think it'd be A.
You think it'd be A? Okay.
BA.
You be A too? Anybody else?
A.
You go with A too?
A.
A, okay, wow.
A.
Parmidia,
A.
you go A
A.
too? Okay, everybody A? Even if your name start with A? Christina, where does your board go?
A.
Oh, you go A too? What make you say that? Why did you guys anonymously voted on A? Wasn't A the wrong answer last time? Okay, guys, it is A. Okay, that's good. Okay. Lee says, okay, somebody is able to. Hopefully that's okay. You'll be able to, it's okay, use your common logic. AKK. Well, this will be 39. Okay, guys. You want to go on to the next transducer? You good? Yes, no, maybe.
We might as well. We have to learn it anyway, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And what do you call that fellow? He is going to be called a vector array. Or also known as a virtual sector. Okay, guys. What is it that he or she is? Well, okay, first of all, this fellow here is going to be, it's okay, unique in one way because it's okay, what this virtual array of virtual sector, sorry, or vector array transducer is. he or she is actually is okay. Equal to the sum of what we earlier today called a linear phased array transducer and the linear sequential array transducer. And how and so on, so on, so we will just get to that in just a little bit. But let us, okay, just talk about his or her shape of the footprint, the number of crystals, and yes, okay, the size of the and shape of the crystals. Now the footprint here is just like your linear sequential array. So it actually is okay has a big footprint, which is rectangular. Yeah, okay. It also has, that's okay, the same number of crystals. Your linear sequential array, which is 200 or 100 to 250 crystals. That's okay, lined up along this rectangular footprint. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Good. Now, so we can still say that, okay, as the shape of the PCTs is still also going to be rectangular. So it's okay, even that is okay, it's similar, so it's okay both. Now guys, the thing where it's going to be is okay, a combination of these two here is going to be as okay in the steering of the beam. And what we mainly can say is okay, what the steering of the beam is going to give us is going to be as okay, this very unique shape of image for our vector array transducer. So that's okay, that is going to help us shape of an image here, which is going to be as okay, what we'll call the trapezoidal. Image shape. Okay. Which is flat here at the top. Or more yes, okay. Curved out at the bottom. Now, this is where it's okay. We can say it's okay that this is going to be okay a combination of the stream mechanisms, because we can mainly say okay that this part here of the image mainly is okay comes from our linear sequential array technology. Whereas this and this comes from our, anyways, okay, this here comes from your linear phased array technology. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
So we can mainly say that's okay. That's mainly as okay what you needed to know. So one thing was, well, okay, as the two names that it goes under. Likewise, okay, the two technologies that it fused together to become one, although going under two names, and the shape. So guys, this shape here is trapezoid. Okay. You actually have a muscle of your on your upper back called the trapezoid. And why is that called the trapezoid? Because it's shaped like a trapezoid. Okay. So any questions?
What is this used for?
Why you can
Wait.
use this for pretty much anything. Okay. So yes, okay, you can use it for Doppler because it's okay, it has the sequential array technology in it as well, right? Okay. Okay. You can, okay. Did that make sense? Okay. Now, when looking at it side by side with a linear sequential array, now you can mean it's okay if you just compare the pictures. You can say it's okay, the linear sequential array, if you look at the transducer itself, those are mainly that's okay going to be more like this, and where we can say it's okay, this here is okay, will be your footprint. Did that make sense? So we can say, okay, this would be as okay, your linear sequential array. Whereas, okay, when we look, for instance, okay, if we look at our vector array, and we can say, okay, this would be our footprint as well. But it's going to be more like shaped like this. So this is going to be as okay your vector array. May not be necessarily as okay that pointed as I made here, just okay, yes. Right. Now please, that's okay. Your linear sequential array is not the only standard transducer that is used for Doppler. Because what if you want to just okay run a Doppler exam on structures in your abdomen? Okay, yes, you can still use a curvilinear. You can still use a linear sequential. Did that make sense, my dear? Clear? Okay. Especially that's okay, you know, if any of you it's okay are interested in going for, let's say it's okay, gynecology or something like that. Anybody are striving to go in that direction? So you scan the baby now, where's the baby? I'm not in the abdomen, but it's okay. Sooner or later, it's okay. That's going to be, it's okay. The area from where you access, or you can say the lower pelvis, right? Okay. Okay. But you will still use, that's okay, a curvilinear transducer. But it's okay when you want to, for instance, okay, check on things such as, okay, blood flow, the beating heart and things like that in the infant or the embryo. You still use that very same transducer, just turn it on into a Doppler mode. Did that make sense? Okay. So you still be using, yes, okay, a curvilinear transducer, curved array transducer, whatever you call it. To scan, yes, okay. Although, yes, okay, you may have to, yes, okay, check on the beating heart and things like that in the fetus. So it doesn't matter of, okay, turning on the Doppler function. Because all those functions, yes, okay, are going to be, yes, okay, pretty much, okay, as controlled by the system. The transducer, I mean, is going to just be the source that sends the signal and receives the signal. Okay. But during transmission, yes, okay, the transducer is not able to produce anything on its own. It has to respond to those electrical signals that still came from your machine. Did that make sense? Likewise, yes, okay, on the way back, well, okay, yes, the transducer, I mean, yes, okay, it sends those signals back to the system. And yes, okay, guys, the system still has to do some processing on those signals before it's okay, it becomes just okay, the picture or image that you see. Did that make any sense? Clear? Okay. Any questions? Anybody want to say something? Okay, so when I said that, okay, as your linear phased array is okay, was ideally is okay used for echocardiography. That was mainly is okay because of its small footprint. Okay, the reason is, well, okay, yes, you need a small footprint because you want that transducer to fit into, yes, okay, the intercostal space. Why? Because if the transducer is okay, falls right on top of a rib, what is it that a rib is?
Fragile.
Pump it up. What is it that the rib is?
Bone.
It's a bone. And what is it going? Okay, yes. Now, when we talk about bones as a tissue, how is that going to just okay affect the sound waves?
It has low attenuation.
Huh?
Doesn't it have low attenuation?
Bones?
Airways? No. Never mind.
No.
I got that backwards.
Okay. Can you get it upright?
It has high attenuation.
It's high attenuation, right? Good. Now, what's going to happen then? Well, okay, you maybe only be scanning the bone and okay, not really get much info of okay, as the structures below, right? And you didn't want to scan the bone, your goal was to scan the part that was in that thoracic cage, right? So that's why it's okay, you select as you make it okay, you have different windows. What tissue has higher attenuation than bone?
Muscle? Oh, that's a
Higher attenuation than bone.
Your lungs.
lungs.
Lungs. Good. If we are scanning the same patient using two different transducers, respectively high and low frequencies, which of them is okay have the least attenuation?
Low frequency.
Low frequency. Here, okay. So had it not been for frequency, that's okay. The lungs would not have been, yes, okay, a highly attenuating structure. Now, this highly attenuating structure and low attenuating structures, yes, okay, guys, it's going to become important again in a far, 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 far ahead chapter. Pretty much okay as during the last week or so. We'll be there. Okay. Okay, guys. Now, do any of you want to ask a Jeopardy question? How do we define amplitude?
The bigness in terms of height of a wave.
Okay, good. Or what will account for the amplitude? Guys, I'm going to become more and more difficult now. It's from the average to the peak or from the average to the trough will be your amplitude. What is the value? Okay, what is the value of -9 decibels?
1/8.
1/8. Okay. Big Ben rang. See you guys tomorrow. Now, at the end of all this, yes, okay. You have two tables on page 187, which means it's okay, summarizes some of the things about your transducers. Okay. So tomorrow, yes, okay, we'll start off with, okay, yes, our next resolution. Okay. Yes, there's another resolution coming. Okay. So please make sure you have understood your shapes of your PCTs. That's all I can say. Have fun, guys. And God bless.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.